Now, I think one of the most difficult episodes that I ever had with my wife, who passed away 5 years ago from alcohol use disorder, was the story that I'm about to tell. And I've told it before, but it's an important story because it's one of those watershed moments where there was a day and then this occurred and then there was never ever a sameness after that, because it was really one of those actions that just broke every boundary that you really could have as a husband and a wife. And I remember I came home from work one day, and I worked out of the house, so it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And I had run some appointments. I was an insurance agent, and my wife wasn't home, which was always kind of a scary event, because I didn't know if she was out shopping or out drinking, and the chances that she was drinking was probably very high probability. And I called a couple of her friends, and they hadn't seen her, and that really kind of made it a little bit unnerving. So an hour or two went by, and I think I just finished my day. And I can remember walking down into the garage. We had a 3-car garage, and there's these row of windows at the top of the garage. And I thought I heard, she had a BMW X5, and I thought it had a big engine. I thought I heard it coming down the street because it just had a sound. And I just had a hunch. So I looked on my tippy toes out the window, the row windows, and I could see the grill of the car coming up the driveway. And the only thing that really startled me, and I'm so glad I figured this out, was it wasn't stopping. It wasn't in park, and you could tell by the motion and the speed that was coming up the driveway that it wasn't going to stop. Again, real quick, I'm the author of Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it in the link in my link tree. I also have a complete coaching program that's designed to help not only the alcoholic, but also the family, as it's a family disease. Set up a breakthrough call. The call is free. The course is definitely not. But I'm looking for people who want to change their life and the life of their family. Links also in the bio. Set a breakthrough call. And again, it was a 3-car garage, and in one section to the far left, I had like a little man cave. I had a couch and a TV. I used to hang out there. And as I saw the grill coming up, I immediately just jumped over the top of the couch just to get out of the way of what was probably going to happen. And it did happen. Amanda drove right through the garage door, and at that moment that I had jumped over, metal and dust and dirt flew all over the garage, just like a bomb went off. She really tore this huge aluminum door right in half. And it was an explosion. And pieces went all over the place and dust. And the car kept coming. And I was on my back, on the back of the couch. And I remember looking up real quick, and there's just dust all over the place and pieces. And I was like really kind of in shock and traumatized, obviously. But I looked over and I could see Amanda on the driver's side, and her head was actually on top of the steering wheel, and she was passed out, and the wheels were spinning. They were spinning. This is why there's a lot of dust picked up. So I immediately ran around the front of the truck, and I realized the only reason why the truck didn't go right through the house and into the living room is because the frame of the garage door had caught the front bumper and really held it in place temporarily. So I ran around the front of the car, quickly opened her door. Luckily, the window was partly down so I could reach in and get it. I took her foot off the gas pedal and put the car in park and took the car keys out. Amanda was still passed out in the front seat and really was completely oblivious to what had just happened. And again, the reason why I tell this story is nothing to do about disparaging someone who had this mental health disease. It's about understanding what families go through and the extremities that people have to go through when they have this disease, and all the havoc and hell that they put themselves through as an alcoholic and their family members. This is about awareness, because I know I'm not the only person that went through this, and I know it resonates with the people who it targets and who it resonates with. On that note, it took me a good 45 minutes to get her up out of the car, awake enough to step up, go upstairs, and get her into bed. And she ended up passing out that day, and she didn't come down till the next morning. I went back down to the car. My car had been parked on the right side. The whole top of my car, I had I don't know what did I have. I had a black Mercedes at the time. The whole top was all scraped up from the debris from the garage door. Her car, the bumper was off. The whole front was smashed up. The windshield was smashed. There was a lot of damage. not to mention to the house, and the whole garage door was destroyed. And I looked in the car. I mean, there was an empty, 1 3/4 bottle of wine empty on the passenger side seat. It had been a bottle of red wine, and there's another one that was about half full. It seems like her MO. She always had 1.5 left, and it was just enough. She had gone somewhere, probably up by the clubhouse, and drank herself into oblivion, then decided to come home on some kind of whim. This was a day-to-day activity that he had to go through when living with Amanda. And the really sad part is the next day she got up. I remember she walked downstairs, I think it was a Saturday, and she looked out into the garage, and she just looked out in horror. She goes, "Oh my God, what happened to the garage door?" And I was just stunned. I remember my son and I were just like, we didn't even have words. I go, "Amanda, you drove through the garage door last night. Do you even remember?" And she was just like, "No, I don't. What happened?" I go, "Well, you obviously got inebriated. You decided to get in the car and you drove through the front of our house. So what are you going to do about it?" And I remember it was never the same. I mean, too many boundaries. And I think she went to a rehab shortly after that, just out of shock, which is never really the best reason to go. But that's what happened. And that was the story of Amanda driving through the front of our house on a typical Friday afternoon.